So, Matt, tell us a little bit about your background. I remember you telling me you used to be a teacher before you were a developer, and tell us a little bit how it all started and how did you end up in the solar industry, building software and more.
Yeah, so my first career actually was in teaching. So I was an English language professor actually. So I taught international students English language courses when they came to the US for university. So I was teaching kind of like the intensive English curriculum so that they would be ready to take actual college level classes in the States. The whole time I was teaching, and even really since college, I was always interested in software engineering, and I always wrote code on the side and had kind of like little pet projects and things like that. And at the time I was living out in Denver and the tech scene was just booming there. And I had a lot of friends who had ended up going to those coding boot camps where it's kind of like a 6 month coding school and they
Yeah,
train you
yeah.
in coding and more or less guaranteed you employment afterwards. And I was looking at kind of doing a career switch. I actually loved teaching. It was just I taught English language, so I was teaching like kind of like grammar 201 kind of classes. And after years and years of teaching grammar class, it doesn't change too much. So I was
Yeah.
kind of looking just for something new. And yeah, a couple of my friends convinced me to go to go to one of the coding boot camps out there. It's called Galvanize. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, I came out and started in the tech sector. It was actually in the healthcare tech sector. It was my first entry point in software engineering. And then, yeah, my second engineering job ever was with Energy Toolbase, and I've been here ever since. It's been a little over 6 years now.
So, what did you build at Energy Toolbase? Can you tell us a little bit about that journey and what are you responsible for now?
Yeah, so the first 2.5 years or so, I spent as a software engineer at Energy Toolbase on, at the time, it was just called Energy Toolbase. We only had, the one product, but it's now today known as E2B Developer.
Yep.
So what that is for anyone not familiar, it's our modeling tool where you can upload energy use profiles, model solar, model battery storage with our Acumen EMS controller, and it can give you a full 25-year cash flow analysis of what the actual financial outputs of doing those projects would look like.
Yep.
So if you had different PPA payments or cash or lease or anything like that, incorporate all that stuff, and it gives you as a developer like a really good like PDF type proposal that you can then send out to your customers. So it takes a lot of manual effort out of actually proposing and selling these projects.
And the inputs to that process is essentially the design, the size of the system, the kilowatt hours it would produce, and obviously the utility rates schedules that the tariffs that you have, which is your core strength of having those tens of thousands of different rate schedules on your database, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Really the
Am
big
I
thing.
missing anything in that picture? Is there other
No,
aspects?
no, that's about it. It's yeah, it's really the load profile of the site you're looking at modeling, and then the utility rate details, and then yeah, what kind of solar, what kind of battery, and what kind of financing options you're really looking at doing. But yeah, kind of what you're getting at is totally accurate. Really, what powers developer and powers really all of our products is our utility rates database and our electric bill calculation engine. So that's
Yep.
something, if you talk to anyone at Energy Toolbase, like that's really what we're really proud of in the industry, where I think we're over 100,000 different utility rates we actually track, over 2,000 utilities, and we have a full department now where literally all they're doing is calling utilities, tracking all the new rate updates, tracking proposed updates, so you can model different updates that may happen down to the
So
nittiest, grittiest detail.
yeah, and that is the core module of Energy Toolbase that's been around for a decade probably. That model developer module, and obviously we did talk about ETB Acumen in a previous solar conversation, and the topic of conversation today is ETB Monitor, which is your new area, I
That's
guess,
right.
newer
So
area of responsibility.
that's right. So after again 2.5 years or so of working on the software engineering team, I actually switched over to the product side, and
Mhm.
became the product manager of E2B Monitor. So that's our kind
Yeah.
of our newest addition to our product suite. So now we have model, control, monitor, so developer, Acumen, our EMS, and then E2B Monitor for our monitoring solution.
Yep.
And we really, when we first came out with that product, we were really gearing it towards just really monitoring our own, control system basically on our own, Acumen EMS sites.
Yeah.
Since then, we've now expanded into solar monitoring as well. So it's available as either standalone solar or solar plus storage monitoring. And it includes all the great stuff from developer, all the utility rate database access, all the electric bill calculations. So you can see just an ongoing trend of, hey, this is what I propose. It needs to be developer. This was the financial savings we promised our customer. And like, check it out. 5 years later, I can see month by month, look at my savings number. Yep, everything's lining up to exactly kind of how I proposed it.
And so that's essentially a kind of like a double check on the initial proposal functionality that you were focused on, basically comparing and monitoring what's happening in the real world after you build the software.
Yeah, exactly. What we really, again, pride ourselves on is that utility rates database and our electric bill calculation engine. That's something we feel we do better than anybody in the market.
Yeah.
And what we kind of did with Monitor is bring all those, great things that we offer to, install pre-commissioning, and brought that to the back end of projects as well, where you could track super accurately exactly how much your systems are saving your customers.
So, and this is mostly obviously in the CNI space, but does it go beyond that as well to?
We have some utility scale projects, but it's really, really mostly focused on CNI space. That's kind of our bread and butter, and where we just feel we have the best market fit.
Commercial, industrial, and across all 50 states and Canada, I'm assuming.
Yes, we've recently put sites Costa Rica and Mexico as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.